Hello and welcome everybody to Game 2 between Fnatic MSI's NightEnD and mouzMaNa. Spawning here in the bottom left position as the blue Protoss, we have Fnatic MSI's NightEnD. Spawning here in the top left position of Tal'Darim Altar as the green Protoss, we have mouzMaNa. mouzMaNa, surprisingly, I had him favored to win Game 1, but as we could see, NightEnD is no pushover, was able to take out his opponent. mouzMaNa, I don't know, I just felt like his build was just a little bit in-betweenish. He wasn't going for full-out aggression. He got up an early expansion, but he didn't saturate it fast enough, and so he just didn't get enough forces out to be able to deal with NightEnD. And then NightEnD, once he got his Blink Stalkers up, was just in and out, poking, dealing damage here and there, and mouzMaNa was just not able to keep up for some reason. So now we can see that in Game 2, mouzMaNa is definitely going to be trying to come back for a win here in Game 2. If he's not able to take Game 2, we are going to see NightEnD take the entire best of 3. So, hoping for a win here for mouzMaNa so that we can go into Game 3. Absolutely love it when we get into that Game 3 of 3. Nothing gets more intense than that. Now, from both of these players, we are seeing very similar builds right now. At this point, it looks like mouzMaNa is just slightly ahead on production right now. As we can see, he's a little bit even behind in the probe production, as well as that gateway. He's behind just a few seconds on that gateway, and now both players are going to be scouting each other immediately. Who will be scouting the other first? It's definitely important to scout your opponent as quick as possible. You gain a slight advantage by scouting your opponent before he scouts you, and that was very smart there by mouzMaNa. As you can see, he poked in at this Xel'Naga watchtower real quick and just touched it real quick just to activate it and see if he sees his opponent's probe moving anywhere within that circle. And if he did, then he would have had a good clue as to where his opponent spawned. But as you can see, he didn't quite do that. As you can see, NightEnd's probe, however, did not do that. Didn't poke in here to this Xel'Naga watchtower, and he's now going to be coming out around. Is he going to poke in at this Xel'Naga watchtower? Looks like no. See, the probe is taking the automatic route through. This is the shortest distance, is to cut right through this middle here. But as we can see, mouzMaNa is, yeah, see, there you go again. He's checking that probe. Now he sees his opponent's probe. Has a clue. Yeah, there you go. See, he saw his opponent's probe. Oh, no, come on, Mana. Come on, don't prove me wrong here, buddy. Come on, you saw that probe coming. Based on your scout timing, he probably could have been able to figure out that his opponent spawned here just because they did scout at the exact same time. It's a pretty standard time to scout, and just based on the fact that he saw his opponent's probe going up there, he should have probably moved towards this base, but looks like he's going to be checking down here at this bottom base just to see if his opponent scouted a little bit later than he did. Now he's going to scout at the latest possible time. NightEnD, of course, also going to be scouting at the very, very latest possible time to scout their opponent. Both these players at this point, generally you feel a little bit scared in PvP at this point in time. See, both players should be saving up energy on their Nexus. Yeah, you can see that both players are going to be saving up some of that energy on their Nexus because they haven't actually scouted each other yet, so they don't know if their opponent is going for a 4-gate, so they have to be very, very careful. Now, he just did poke into the base here, Mana, and he's seeing the energy on that Nexus, seeing that Cybernetics core getting chrono boosted, and let's see how he's going to respond. He did scout that there is only one gas geyser currently up here for NightEnD in the base of Mana now. Let's see how he's going to respond with that chrono boost. That next chrono boost is going to be very, very indicative of what Mana is going to be trying to do here. And as we can see, he's now going to be gunning up a 4-gate of his own. He's definitely worried about the 4-gate right now just with that one gas, and he already saw 2 gateways up. He can safely assume, also because he saw the chrono boost going down on that Cybernetics core, that research is going to be up quick. And there you go. Now we see that the warp gate research is now being researched here by Mana, and it looks like he needs to get up his 4-gate, his own 4-gate, as quick as possible if he's going to want to be able to defend this. Looks like he's even going to be trying to go for a forward position here as he's poking out into the center of the map. Not going to be able to see this probe that is moving around. Going to be trying to take this Xel'Naga watchtower, but Mana, of course, being very, very good about his scouting. Going to poke right in here and deny that pylon from going down, and yeah, there, the pylon does get canceled there. In the meantime, forces are now moving across the map here for NightEnD. Looks like both these players, I'm going to keep the unit tab open for the moment just to see what they're going for. Looks like both players just going for stalkers right now. Looks like pure stalker actually from both of these players. Both of these players just getting pure stalkers now. We can see that NightEnD trying to find places to warp in units, trying to get that forward pylon down. The longer he waits on that 4 gate, then the weaker it is going to be. And let's check out the Harvester count right now. We can see that, yeah, Mana's actually a little bit ahead just because he didn't start the 4 gate. He started his 4 gates just a little bit later, and now he's got 2 Zealots in the mix. These Zealots are going to be so helpful in this fight. We can see that Mana is now moving in a very strong position right now. Looks like he's going to be able to pick off a few of those Stalkers there. A couple of these Stalkers are low, but these 2 Zealots are going to be able to deal a lot of damage. And now, look at this, mouzMaNa now pushing back forward. He kept a probe with all of his forces, so he's now going to be pushing into the base of his opponent here, and he's going to be able to warp in up onto this high ground. In the meantime, looks like NightEnD has gone from being the 4-gate-er to the 4-gate-e. He is now going to be 4-gated. More forces now streaming across the map here for Mana, and Mana's a good amount ahead, 42 food to 36 food of NightEnD. NightEnD just not able to get that forward pylon up enough, and I think he actually missed a production cycle or 2 there. And now we can see that now Mana is going to be moving forward with lots of Zealots being warped in here for NightEnD as well. More forces of Mana continuing to stream in right now. Needs to get that Zealot at the front to start taking some of that damage, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from Mana. Now Mana pulling back just a little bit. Now moving forward, actually doing a good job of kiting these Zealots, dealing a lot of damage, picking off some of those Zealots. A lot of these Zealots are really low in hit points right now. NightEnD now going to be pushing back after warping in another round. Are Chrono Boosts currently being used at all? No, neither of these players are currently Chrono Boosting their warp gates to get more production in, but we can see that Mana is just continuing this pressure very well, and he's 7 food up in the food count. Checking out that Harvester count, he's still 1 worker ahead. Again, this is where 1 worker makes all the difference. Having that 1 worker is getting him an extra 30 minerals per minute. So that means that's an extra third of a Zealot every minute. If you have forces in your base like this, every single unit counts, and that is definitely going to help Mana out quite a bit now. NightEnD frantically trying to warp in more units, but Mana, I think, is going for the better composition at this point in time. He's trying to about match his opponent's number of Zealots. He needs just enough Zealots to be able to deal damage to his opponent's Zealots, and he's just trying to stay ahead in the Stalker count. As long as he's just 1 unit ahead in the Stalker count, then he's going to be able to deal more damage. And oh my god, those Zealots are actually getting a little bit out of control. They're starting to attack that Cybernetics core. Definitely don't want that. Needs every single hit to go down on his opponent's units, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from Mana. Mana continuing to apply pressure. He just lost all of his Zealots, but he's still got a very high Stalker count. His opponent's got a low Stalker count right now. More Zealots being warped in right now to act as shields. There you go. As you can see, mouzMaNa's Zealots right now are absorbing a lot of damage here from NightEnD Zealots. So now the higher Stalker count is finally starting to set in right now, as the forces of Mana are really starting to just outnumber the forces of NightEnD. And the GG from NightEnD means that mouzMaNa is able to take Game 2 in this series, and we are currently 1-1. Going to be going into Game 3 right now to see which of these 2 fantastic players will be taking this best of 3 from the EG Masters Cup. Stay tuned.